بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الصلاة والسلام على أشرف الأنبياء والمرسلين. السلام عليكم. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. ربي اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقهوا قولي. The matter of patience is very important. Patience is needed while we are speaking because we will be held accountable for all that we say. According to a hadith reported by Mu'adh ibn Jabal and recorded by Tirmidhi, he says that I was with the Prophet ﷺ when he said, "Then shall I not tell you of the peak of the matter, its pillar and its topmost part?" I said, "Yes, O Messenger of Allah." He said, "The peak of the matter is Islam, the pillar is prayer, and its topmost part is jihad." Then he said, "Shall I not tell you of the controlling of all that?" I said, "Yes, O Messenger of Allah." And he took hold of his tongue and said, "Restrain this." I said, "O Prophet of Allah, will what we say be held against us?" He said, "May your mother be bereaved of you, Mu'adh. Is there anything that topples people on their faces, or," he said, "or their noses, into hellfire other than the harvest of their tongue?" So this hadith clearly states that we have to watch what we say. And in order to do that, we have to have patience. If we just say whatever comes, the first thing that comes to our mind, then we will not succeed because we will be saying things that we later on, when we think about it, we will regret. So patience means thinking about what you are going to say. And this has to be done while you're speaking because then you understand what you are saying and you will say what is right. And in another report of the Prophet ﷺ, when he went to Al-Mi'raj, he was shown the rewards and some of the punishments of the people who do various sins. And in that, he saw that the lips of the people who spoke publicly and their words caused problems in the world, the lips were being cut off. And every time they get cut off, they came back. Not only that, he saw another place, he saw that a great big bull coming out of a small hole. And then when the bull tries to get back in the hole, it cannot because it is too large. And that was what, when people say something that is very wrong, and then they try to take it back, they cannot. Once something is said, it is there, whether it's public record or not. And even this recording that we are making, sure, people will watch it all over the world. But more important, we will be seeing this on the day of judgment, laid back to us. So it is important that we watch what we say and think about it. And that requires patience. In the Quran, another note, in the Quran, there is a story of Musa alayhi salam in Surah Al-Kahf when he went out in the pursuit seeking knowledge. He thought that he was the most knowledgeable person, but Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala informed him, "No, there is another person who has more knowledge than you." So he said, "Oh Allah, I want to go and learn from him." So he set out, and then when he finally met him, he expressed his desire to learn from him. So he replied, and in the words of the most exalted, "A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim." وكيف تصبر على ما لم تحد به خبرا, which means that how can you be patient about something you do not have knowledge? So knowledge helps us to be, and it takes patience to acquire knowledge. They work hand in hand. But when a person have knowledge of something, like if we know when we are making public speeches before the class, we know the teacher, we know the students, the environment, the class environment is familiar to us. So we feel confident, it's easy to be patient. But if we were to make the same speech, let's say in the masjid, just next door, but the environment is different, the audience will be different, so then it makes us anxious. Unless we take some time to take in the environment, to take in the audience, then that will help us to answer, to make a speech that is appropriate. It takes patience to know what your audience, the background of the audience, what is their level of knowledge, how to address them. All of these things we can do if we are patient and thinking about what we are doing, what are we speaking about. Patience is very essential for taqwa. Patience, if you are not patient, you cannot have taqwa. So every time we speak, we have to think. Patience means giving yourself time to think about what you are saying. And that is important when you think that if you made a speech and without thinking you said some things which you do not recall, and then someone comes up to you and says, "You said such and such." I didn't say that because you didn't remember what you were talking about. That is why it is important to have a little bit of patience as you speak so you remember what you're talking about. And then if somebody asks you a question, you have to think, what is it they are saying? How do I answer this question? What are my options? Do I know, do I even know what he's talking about and how to answer the question? And it takes patience to understand and comprehend, to answer the question. It takes patience sometimes to say, I don't really know right now, but I will look it up and get back with you. In one sense, we are blessed by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to have been given this knowledge about Islam, but it comes with a big responsibility. If people come to us because we know a little more than them about the religion, we have to be careful how we answer those questions. We have to think about it because we will be held responsible. Not only that, if we give an answer which is not correct, we have to understand that it has implications. Those people who follow us because we give them the wrong answer, they will be sinning or doing the wrong things, and we will also be held accountable for what they do. That is why it is important that we be careful when we speak and think, what are we saying? What is the question? How do we answer it? Is this a simple yes or no question? Or does it require more thought? And all of these things require patience. Many times when we go to the masjid every Jummah, many times when we come back from the masjid, we can't remember what the Imam was talking about, the Khatib. But the style of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam was he was very patient. He would talk slowly and deliberately so the people understood fully what he was talking about. And he avoided making long speeches so people wouldn't get bored and their attention would go away from them, from him, from his speech. So whatever Prophet ﷺ said has been recorded by so many of his Sahaba because of his style of speaking and his way of speaking to different people. When he was asked a question, he would answer to different people in different ways, keeping in mind what are their circumstances, their ability to comprehend what is, and he even read the Quran. He asked Jibreel alayhi salam to give him the Quran in seven different ahruf. The reason being that he realized that the listeners, the people who are going to listen to the Quran, they speak different dialects. So he wanted to make sure that when he recited the Quran to them, they understood it in the way it was supposed to be understood, in the way that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala intended. So for this reason, he recited, he got the seven different ways of reciting the Quran. He did not say, okay, this is the Quran, this is the word of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, so whatever Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gives, that's fine. He was cognizant of his audience, of the people who he was going to deliver the message to. Will they understand it if I say it in this manner? Or do I need to change it so they understand the word of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? And when we read the Quran, the way the Quran is supposed to be read with tajweed, it takes patience. You cannot read a Quran with tajweed if you go too fast. You have to read correctly. Every fatha, dhamma, kasra, long vowel, short vowel, idgham, gunna, everything you have to read it correctly. And you find that when a Qari reads the Quran correctly, it goes to your soul. It provides nourishment for the soul. So Quran is the speech of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has taught us how to read the Quran, how to read it correctly with tajweed. This is the reason that we have to be careful when we speak. We have to think about it. Is what I'm going to say help the people when I say make a difference in their lives? Or is it just something I'm saying because I have to say something? That is where it is very important not only to choose an appropriate subject matter, but it is also the deliverance. You have to be careful how you pronounce the words, what words you pick and choose, because words have an impact. Some words cause anxiety in the people, and some words make them calm. So for that reason, in order to be able to pick and choose the right words, you have to have patience. Patience is very important while speaking. I am happy that Sheikh Mustafa has chosen this topic. This has helped me focus on what I have to say. May Allah reward him بإذنه. أقول قولي هذا أستغفر الله لي ولكم.